There are several new faces who will be working at the state capitol come January, and two of them are with us today. They are State Representatives-elect Irene Haines, she's a Republican, and Quentin Phipps, he is a Democrat. And first of all, congratulations to both of you, and thank you for coming on the program.
Thank you very much. Glad to be here.
Thank you.
And I'll begin with you, State Representative-elect Phipps. What is the number one thing you hope to accomplish when you go to Hartford?
I think the Democrats, and matter of fact, everyone in this state are really looking to have a full economic package. So that means higher wages for us all. We need to make sure that everyone has a livable wage. We want to protect one another and make sure that we're all staying healthy. So I think that looks like Family Medical Leave Act. And we also have to make sure that we have a balanced budget that is putting us and investing in our state to make sure that we have quality public education for everyone.
And what's your goal, Representative-elect Haines?
I think one of the most important things, we all have to work together in working on the fiscal responsibility that we have at the state level. It's in dire straits right now, so that I think is the number one goal, that if we all work together, we can definitely fix that problem, or at least work toward that problem. And then I think I agree in that we have to look at our whole economic package and make sure that we're also growing our economy at the same time, so we're able to do those kinds of things and take care of everybody.
There are some Democrats out there who believe that there should be tolls for everybody, including passenger cars. Governor-elect Lamont has said he just wants them for trucks. Where do you stand on that issue?
I think we need more information. I come from a business background, and making data-driven decisions is the number one thing. So we saw the Hartford Courant article that gave a basic proposal, but right now I think we still need additional data to find out what's the best way to invest in our infrastructure.
And the Republican stance is no tolls, or at least some Republicans feel that way. Do you feel that way?
I think I agree with Representative-elect. I think one thing that we do need to do is definitely get some more information. I think there have been a couple of proposals that have come our way. Last year there was one, this year there's one, there's a new one right out today or yesterday. There's a lot of tolls, and I think a lot of tolls is too many, but where that is, depending on the income, depending on what we're going to do as far as locking that money up, we have to see whether or not that's going to be, and that's going to happen. If it doesn't happen, if it's not locked, then there's no sense just giving in more revenue. I don't think we have a revenue problem in Connecticut. We've got a spending problem, and we've got to figure that out first.
Republicans are in the minority, as you know, and they lost some seats in the Senate, so they're even weaker there than they were before. What kind of difference can you make being the minority party?
Well, I think all of us have the same problems. Whether Republicans or Democrats, we all have a fiscal crisis going on in Connecticut, and I'm sure that my friends across the aisle are going to work with us as well. And we're all going to work together in making sure that Connecticut can be the best place it can be and people can stay here. One of the things that we've got going on is a lot of people want to leave because of the taxes and because of the cost of living and the fiscal crisis and all the unfunded mandates that we have and the unfunded pensions. This is all going to be something that we're going to have to work together to solve. So I think ultimately we all have to work together. A
big story in Massachusetts this past week, marijuana. Now legal, it most likely will come up in the current, in the next legislative session. How do you feel about that? Should marijuana be legalized in our state?
We're going to have to look at additional revenue streams for the state of Connecticut so we can invest in our school systems and infrastructure. Seeing our neighbors in Massachusetts legalizing it, I think we're going to have to take a close and heavy look at it. I would 100% be in favor of it. I think it also has to be attached to looking at expunging records for folks that had small amounts for either possession and those sort of things. We have to look at doing this in an equitable way.
And how about you, Representative Haines?
I'm not in favor of it. I'm really not. I worked very heavily with our local prevention council in my own district, and I think it is a problem and a road where we're headed in the wrong direction. Again, I don't think we have a revenue problem in Connecticut. We have a spending problem. So just to bring in more money, especially on the backs of a illegal drug at the moment, I just don't know that that's a good idea.
Let's talk about casino gambling, and I'll start with you this time, Representative-elect Haines. Do you think it should be expanded in our state, or are we good with just 2 casinos right now?
I think we have to look at the agreements that we've made with the Mashantucket Pequots as well as the Uncasville Indians and find out whether or not we're going to be infringing on something first.
But it's difficult to say no to a big company who may want to put a $500 million casino in Bridgeport, for instance. Yeah,
well, it's good. We're going to have to look at the best ways to invest in our state. Growing our economy and growing jobs is going to be super important. We do have to make sure that we are holding ourselves accountable to the agreements that we have made. But I think one of the things that we definitely have to look at is sports betting. And when we see it all around our neighbors, we can't be the only ones that are left out.
Do you have committee assignments yet, or is it too early?
Too early.
What would you like to be on?
Planning and development is one of the key ones that I'm interested in, as well as transportation.
And how about you?
Elections, human services, and finance.
Good enough. State Representative-elect Quentin Phipps and State Representative-elect Irene Haines, we thank you both for being on the program this Sunday, and best of luck. Congratulations on your election.
Thank you.
So when we come back, we'll be talking about that big story that was dominating the headlines 20 years ago. Plus, we'll meet the new man in charge of the Metro Hartford Alliance. And we welcome your comments on social media. You can find me on Twitter, Instagram, or Facebook.